So now we are finally ready to create our monthly budget. So, as a recap, when we first started, we first set our financial goals, right? To understand all of the things that we want to accomplish in life financially and what we're going to do in order to march towards financial freedom. After that, we then created our net worth assessment that allowed us to understand what our net worth is today and understand our financial picture as a whole, looking at all of our assets, which are the things that we own, and all of our liabilities, which are the things that we owe, because we have to get a clear picture of our financial health. After we did that, we created our necessities chart. Our necessities chart helped us understand how much it is that we need to live. What is that exact number so that we can strive to make as much as we can over and beyond that number every single year? Because again, every dollar that we make over our necessity number is potential savings. So, in a prior example, we realized that we needed about a little over $41,000 in order to live and in order to save our $10,000, which is our savings goal this year. So, all I did for our monthly budget amount, and we are in the month of September as an example, so I have September here. But all I did was bring over my monthly numbers to create my budget column. Okay. So I brought over the $950 for mortgage, $150 for utilities. There is no credit cards. I had $375 for auto loan. Insurance is $120. Life insurance is $95. Taxes is $100 because our annual payment is $1,000. So I divided that by 12. That's $100. Our water annually was $480. Now we know water bills come out quarterly, but if we wanted to look at what it is monthly, it'd be $40. Then we have our grocery for our home, gas for our car of $80, our student loan payment, and then our tithes and our savings of $834 a month. So that can give us our $10,000 savings goal number. So if I were to do this, my total income, I pulled it from my necessity chart. So I know that my total income is $3,625 a month. But I am looking at my expenses, and my expenses come to $3,464 a month. Now, remember what I said, a lot of things I like to pay off annually because when you pay things off annually, a lot of times you can get a discount, right? And when you pay things off annually, it allows you to have more cash flow in every single month. So let's say that you filed your taxes at the beginning of 2021 and there were some things that you want to pay off annually because you got a tax refund. And instead of putting all of your refund in your bank account, or instead of going out and splurging and shopping and going on vacation and stuff with your refund, you said, you know what? I'm going to pay off some of my bills annually so that I can have more cash in a month. I put an asterisk next to some of the things that I would pay off annually. So I put an asterisk next to my car insurance. I put an asterisk next to my life insurance, my taxes, and my water. And I told myself, I am going to pay these things off annually. Therefore, I'll have more money throughout the month. Because if I do it, if I create this budget right now, it's just way too tight, right? I only have a disparity of $161. Anything can happen in this month, and I'm pretty much popped, right? I have to have a perfect month in order for this to go back perfectly. So one wrong thing, one unexpected expense, one emergency, and I'm already dipping into my savings account. And I don't necessarily want to do that. I am being aggressive, and I really want to save that $10,000. So I took my tax refund and I paid off some stuff annually. So I paid off my car insurance premium, my life insurance premium, I paid off my taxes, I paid off my water. Okay, boom. This looks way better. I have an additional $516 every single month. And throughout the month, I told myself that I'm going to be conservative this year. I'm not going to do a whole lot of partying. I'm not going to do a whole lot of spending. I am being very disciplined, and I'm going to sacrifice this year to reach my $10,000 goal. So now I have $516 left as a surplus every single month. So now if something unexpected did come up, I still have a little bit of money left over in the month that I can take care of that expense versus it being really tight every single month, right? Now, this is how my month is budgeted to look. So, this is a forecast, it's an estimate, but things can go a little differently, right? So, our mortgage payment pretty much stays the same. So, then I was able to pay for that. Actually, I want to bring my totals over. So, I'm just going to grab this like that. And then I'm going to grab that. Then I'm going to grab that. Okay, because what it's doing is it is adding up our expenses and it's adding up our total income, and then it's showing us what our disparity is. Okay, our total income is going to be the same because we already know what that is. So that will be the exact same in both columns, unless you're a person who work hourly, right? You work hourly and you have overtime opportunity. Oh my goodness, that is golden. With that overtime opportunity, you can crank out those hours and make your disparity even higher so you can reach your savings goal a lot faster. But let's say you did really good with your utilities this month and the bill only came out to $100. So that's your actual amount. You still don't have any credit card debt. Um, let's say that this actually happened to me. I bank with Chase, and Chase sent me a letter in the mail and said, Talea, you are wonderful. Guess what we decided to do? We lowered your interest rate. So instead of your car payment being $375, they changed your interest rate, and now your car payment is $365. It might not seem like a lot, but over time, it can definitely add up. So your payment went down to 365. Car insurance, life insurance, taxes, and water is already paid off. You were very frugal with how you spent your money on your groceries, and you only got the things that you really needed, and you left other things on the shelf that you would typically buy. So the junk food that you normally like, you said, I'm going to be more healthy. So you didn't buy that. So you ended up only spending $150. Your gas, you actually were able to drop your gas down. You were paying attention to where you were driving and how you were driving, and you actually only spent $70 on gas this month. Your student loan bill was the same. You still decided to do the tithes for this month of 400, and then you actually did it this month. You saved $834, and you did not touch it. Now look at that. So our actual column, our actual expenses, instead of 3,109, our actual expenses this month was only $2,989. Very good. Your total income was 3625. Unfortunately, there wasn't any overtime this month. So look at that. Instead of your disparity being $516, you now have an additional $636 this month. So you might say, you know what? Hmm, I can save a little bit more money. So you take an additional $400 and you transfer it to your savings account. So you are additional $400 getting to your goal faster by an additional $400 this month, all because you were super conservative and you were paying attention to what you were spending in each category to make sure that at the end of the month you had a bigger disparity. Now, let's say you did work overtime and that overtime check came out to $4,000 a month instead of 3625 with your overtime hours. So let's put 4,000 for your income here. We're going to change that over here too because that's how much you actually no, this is supposed to be 3625. My apologies, because that's our budget amount, but we're saying that over here $4,000 is how much you actually made that month. Now look at your disparity. You were able to decrease your expenses So your expenses came to 2,989, but you were able to increase your income for the month. Your income was $4,000. You already saved 834, but look, you still have $1,011 left. So you say, oh, with the overtime this month, I can save an additional $700 this month and still have $300 to do something nice, right? Or you could say, you know what, I'm not doing nothing nice. I'm going to save all but $100, and that $100 is going to be for minor things that might come up throughout the week. So you transfer an additional $900 and you reach that goal a lot faster. That's almost $1,000 extra you saved in a month. So guess what? You done cut down that $10,000 for 12 months, you cut that down to saving $10,000 in 11 months. Well, actually, you already saved 834, so you actually cut it down to 10 months. So you see how following this plan can really help you reach your goals a lot faster because it's a visual thing, right? So this is tab number 8, which is for September. And of course, you can change the month to whatever you need your month to be. And we can also rename this as well. So instead of it being 8, you can right click on the 8, do rename, and you can start it off with September, right? So that's the month of September. And then the next tab is tab 9. Now, of course, we're going to adjust all of these numbers to fit our budget. And remember that these budget numbers are coming from our necessity list on tab 7, okay? And then every month, this is for October, you do the same thing. When you are ready to add another tab, all you do is click this plus sign here. It's going to be sheet 1. You can grab this by left clicking, bring it to the end, right? And then rename it whatever you want to. So this is September, October, November. So this one we're going to rename to December. And you can rename these other ones, right? And then you can put the year by it because you're going to continue to use this. So we're going to say December 21. When you are ready, all you have to do is copy and paste. So you see this little arrow here? We're going to just click on that, left click. It will highlight the whole sheet. Then you can do Control C. It copies the entire sheet. Go to December 21. Click that little arrow again. And now do Control V. That's paste. And voila. All we have to do is change this to December and then make sure all of our numbers is the same and start over for the next month. And I want you to keep track of every single month. And as you keep track every single month and you have your goals in your mind and you're making good decisions, you're going to see how much savings. You're going to start doing extra stuff for money and you're going to see how much income you're bringing in. And you'll come up with ways to decrease your expenses even more. And guess what? Paying off that car be so easy. You'll have 5 years left on your loan and you'll be paying off that car in year 2. You'll be paying off those student loans. You'll be saving instead of $10,000, you'll have $30,000 and $50,000 and $75,000 savings goals. You can really go as far as you want because you have a clear understanding of how to manage your money the fit way. So that's the end of our Fit Financial Plan template. And I hope that it truly helps you. I hope that it encompasses everything that you need to live in financial freedom. Have a great day.